You're watching Bally Sports, the home of the Tigers, Pistons, and Red Wings.
"18 years ago, the Kingsley Stags reigned supreme in Division 6 right here at Ford Field, capturing their first ever football state championship. We fast forward you to 2023. The Stags are back, boasting an 11-2 record and looking to add to their trophy case. But to do so, the 12-1 Almont Raiders stand in their way, eager to capture their first ever football state championship. It all unfolds at Ford Field today. It's the MHSAA Division 6 state championship game, and it's proudly presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Hi, everybody. Alongside my friend and my partner, former Lions tight end Rob Rubick, I'm Matt Shepard. You've been doing this for well over 30 years. For me, it's almost 30. What do you enjoy most about it?
Well, I enjoy working with you, number one and foremost, back from our Eastern Michigan days. But I like watching the kids. I like watching the fans. They get so excited. They're so pumped to play in a professional field, to be in the ultimate game, to win a state championship. And as I said, Shep, it's always a thrill working with the GOAT.
Well, I appreciate it. Listen, we really look forward to this one, but we're going to see a lot of running of the football. These two teams kind of mirror one another, but not in terms of where they are located. They know where they're from. You may not. Kingsley is about 17 miles south of Traverse City. It's a long trek for them, but it's worth it. Almont, in the meantime, is about 50 miles north of downtown Detroit City. Kingsley is led by Eli Graves. He's a guy who gets it done offensively and defensively for this team.
Yeah, you know, Gavin Merchant's the quarterback, but we're not going to talk a lot about him because he's kind of a game manager. But this young man, Eli Graves, very balanced running back. A lot of them can run, Shep. Some of them can catch. He can do both. 20 TDs with his legs, 5 with his catching the ball down the field. And defensively, he's also a very good linebacker, one of the top tacklers on the team.
Almont, in the meantime, hits you in a lot of different directions with a lot of different people.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you look at the running backs, they got 3, 4, 5 they're going to rotate throughout the game. Chase Batani is the number one, but you have Joka, you have Winkler. And let's not forget an important thing that's really going to help the Raiders here today, Shep. They have a running back who's been out for 6 games. Jacob Stewart, this sophomore, averages 13.6 yards a play. Now, last time I checked, is that enough for a first down?
Well, I'm no mathematician.
I know that. I've worked with you.
That's pretty darn good. This is a guy right now who's going to help him not only in the running attack, but also in the flare passing game as well. So he's a big addition back to that offense. They play for one another, but they also play on this Saturday Eve for that beautiful looking trophy. They'll kick it off, and someone's going to win it. Here on Bally Sports, when we return to Ford Field after this.
All you got to do is play. All you got to do is play. I am so excited about watching you guys play tonight. This is what you worked so hard for. I can't wait to watch our offensive and defensive lines play. That's where games are won and lost. We know that, yes? I can't wait to watch our defense swarm to the football. Stop the run. Hit the quarterback. Fanatical effort. And you know what? You got a crap ton of Kingsley crazies out there that are excited about it too. All you got to do is play and have fun tonight. Got it? Team song. Let's rock and roll. Bye-bye.
Tim Moore excited for his team and the opportunity that presents itself. He said, you know, when I was 24 in coaching, it was about being bigger and faster. But you know what? The more I coach, the more I relish practices, having dinner with coaches, and chatting with my kids in a game like this. With Rob Rubick and Natalie Kerwin, I'm Matt Shepard. Welcome on this Saturday night, and let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team. Good evening, Natalie.
Hey, Shep. Well, we know it's not an easy road to get to the state finals, and for some, it can be a long road. Quite literally, it took Kingsley 4 hours to get down here yesterday. They had the perfect send-off, a police escort bringing them down here to Detroit. It was awesome. The team cheering them on, police leading the way, and then the town proceeded to follow the team down here to their hotel. I was told you could rob Kingsley blind today because everyone will be down here in Detroit. And with the way those stands are looking over there, Shep, with that sea of orange, I don't doubt it.
They are out in full force because they truly believe in this team. An opportunity to make Tim Moore a state champion. But as he's told us numerous times, it's not necessarily about me. It's about these kids. And in 15 seasons, though, Rubes, very impressive win percentage at almost 77%.
The interesting part is Coach Weir is good friends with Shane Fairfield. The next game we're going to do with Muskegon and De La Salle.
Meanwhile, James Loosby is the head coach at Almont. In 2019, they got this far, but he said, you know what, we were kind of happy to be there. Now, this is different for our guys, very focused, and they've got some dog in them, and we'll see who has that upper hand here tonight. A thrilling opportunity for both these schools, both these communities. Almont won the toss, they deferred. Kingsley is back to receive, and Division VI bragging rights is underway at Ford Field. From the 10, Eli Graves with a good return to set up his offense. Gavin Merchant is the quarterback for Kingsley at 11-2. Kind of a coach on the field, and one tough hombre. He wears 6 in white. One of the best wrestlers this state has had over the past few seasons. He'll take that touchdown to interception ratio. He'll keep you honest. They will start on the ground with a good hole past the 40, close to a first down. That's Skylar Workman. Kingsley up front averages 6 feet, 198 pounds. Max Goethals leads the way in receiving. Eli Graves, explosive, one of the top 5 athletes that Tim Moore has ever coached in his coaching career that spans 33 seasons over a few schools. To the up back. There's the defense for Almont. Gordon Stalecki leads his team in sacks and tackles for losses. You want to watch the middle linebackers. Aiden Furquan and Conan Furquan, both over 100 tackles. And Luke Winkler at number 81 leads the team in picks with 5. First down carry for Eli Graves. And into territory, that of Almont at the 44-yard line.
Well, everyone wants a running back that can run. When you get a running back that can also catch Shep and is a weapon in the passing game, you got him. And you can see his numbers there. 117.55 rushing, 20 TDs. Also, you have to remember this young man, 8.7 yards a carry, but 5 receiving TDs as well. So a big part of the passing offense.
The ground attack is working all the way down to the 30. That's Colson Orton.
Well, there's no pulling here, but I want you to watch Colson Orton. He comes through the line, covering the ball with his arms, and you see the guys in the backfield, also the guy going wide, covering his mouth. We used to call this peekaboo, and they used to wear all brown forearm pads, so the MHSAA unfair advantage. They got rid of that, but it's still hard to locate the ball. It's very assignment discipline when you have to play defense against this.
A counter to Graves, and he gets down to the 25.
Graves to the 25.
Aiden Furquan with the tackle there. Leads this team at 113 coming into the ball game today.
It's nice when you're a broadcaster, when everyone on the field tells you what the play is. You can hear them coming through our audio down on the field. Everyone's saying counter, counter. What it is you take the couple backs, go to the left, and you bring Eli Graves underneath, coming back to the right, pull a guard, and we got good yardage.
Tough sledding close to the 20. This time, Skylar Workman.
Now, you got 3rd down and 1, and you're not saying, well, what do we do? Do we try to catch them with play action? This is a run-first football team. You're going to see them run. Whether they just run power like you've seen, they've run some counter. They also ran lead outside zone. So they've run a lot of different plays. Let's see what they do here. I think they're going to keep it quick and simple.
Workman again, first down carry.
They just came out and ran lead. You can call it power. You're not pulling anyone. Now in today's game, when people say power, a lot of times you pull a couple, guard and tackle. That time is you're just running a full house tee. You give it to the off tailback, and the other two running backs are leading through the hole and just flushing it out, and they move the chains easily.
An impressive opening drive for Kingsley. Soft pitch to Graves. Inside the 10, down to the 7.
Merchant with the toss to Graves.
Yeah, you keep an eye on Caleb Bott. He's going to be number 60. It's not a pull. He kind of gives a little ground, then he turns up into the hole. You take the other back, you lead through the hole, and a nice job on the backside with James Pearson, number 55, staying on and running his defender all the way across the play, allowing a little bit for the cutback.
To the up back. Squeezed it inside the 5. That's Colson Orton, another carry. The senior at 5'10", 160 pounds.
And you talk to Coach Wooer. You say, hey, Coach, this is going to happen. You're going to play in the state championship game. First drive, you're going to take the opening kickoff. You're going to run about 10 or 12 plays all the way down the field and you're going to punch in the end zone because they're, 3 yards right now and a second to go. And the way this offense has been clicking, it's going to be a tough task for the Raiders of Almont to get a stop here.
10th play of the drive upcoming. Graves, touchdown. All on the ground.
Well, something to look. We've seen the full house team. I'll pause it right here. Yeah, you got two backs. Or two backs leading, Graves is going to get it. He's the third one coming through. That's an old Maryland power I. It's a straight I, Shep. It's really different. Using the I formation, you had a fullback and a tailback. There's 3 in this one in this power set. A nice job just getting 2 lead backs at the point of attack, and there he is. Coach said he's not the biggest back, but he's very wiry.
Always going for 2. Graves. The number on his back, but he didn't get in. They settle for a touchdown, 11 plays, and a very impressive drive for Tim Moore's team. So disciplined. What they do as well as anybody in the state.
And, sometimes you go to the well too often, and right here, you're going to see the same formation, but good job slanting to the left where the touchdown just went in. It's a defensive slant to the right. They do a good job, good fill by the linebacker, Furquan, that time. And they stuff them before it can really get going. They take the 2 lead blockers off their path, and they're able to clean up.
Tim Moore's team, 11-2 on the year. The 2 losses, one in week 2 to Gaylord, the other to Ogama Heights. They made up for it. On the road to the finals, no one could stop them. Their offense unstoppable, including against Reed City. In the semifinals, he actually told us it was the toughest schedule he's ever had. They opened with Reed City, semis a year ago, and then Gaylord, the D3 regional finalist from a year ago. Then they went into the league. Said his team really came of age in that week 2 loss to Gaylord. You and I talk to a lot of coaches throughout the season, and they'll tell you oftentimes that character is revealed during losses as much as it is during wins.
Well, that's a bigger school now, Gaylord, compared to Kingsley.
Right. On the return, and a good one past the 35 to the 37-yard line. It's a good return for Luke Winkler, and he sets up his team's offense in good shape. And they'll turn it over to Chase Davidowski. His numbers on the year, and again, these 2 teams, Rubes, kind of mirroring one another.
Yeah, you notice there are not a lot of yards for Davidowski, the quarterback, and 9 TDs. And when you complete a pass in this offense, you're going to see here, usually the guys are wide open because you've run it 19 times in a row, and then you hit them with a play action.
To the 41-yard line. That is a battle up front, man. That is really tough grinding for Chase Batani. So Batani gets it done on a first down play. His offensive line, look at the left side. The solid tag team when you need a yard is Isaiah Bankston and Cole Willard. Cole Walton leads the team in receiving yards. He wears number 13 in black. Winkler bouncing to the outside. Good speed, first down run toward midfield.
Well, you're going to see speed by Winkler here. There's nothing there. Good job coming at the point of attack defensively, but Winkler's just fast enough to get around to the corner and get to the edge. You know, last week, Shep, he returned a touchdown and a kick return against Ovid Elsie the entire way. It was a big play. It really kind of jump-started the offense of Almont because they were struggling to that point.
Yeah, he'll hurt you on special teams, offense, and defense. He does it all for this Raiders squad that enters 12-1 on this championship Saturday. Winkler again. A lot of clogging, a lot of white jerseys. Here's the defense that is causing that issue. Chase Bott, Caleb Bott, they're cousins and both D2 prospects. Max Goethals leads the team in tackles, wears 11 and white. And Eli Graves is their best cover corner.
Goethals is the alpha dog on that defense. He's a big, long, lanky, physical football player. As you say, leads them in tackles, but he's also one of those guys that gives the highlight hits, that gets the defense fired up around him.
Second and long. Nice hole. And a good tackle by Graves. Otherwise, that could have been the equalizer for Matthew Boholski.
Oh, great job by this. We talked about Eli Graves as a running back, but look at this. Cross the front, both arms, stays with it, pulls him down. If you don't get that, if Graves doesn't make that, Shep, you're not stopping there. You're going to still see Boholski might still be going.
So it's third and long. A delay, nothing doing. No room for Chase Batani.
Yeah, now you got to think a little bit. I think you punt. I think you're 4th down and 8. Even though you're at midfield, this is going to be a field possession game. You know, the first drive, Kingsley really, their offense clicked. They were able to move the ball down the field, but sometimes you have to get used to the speed of the game, and if the Raiders of Almont can slow them down this next drive, you could get good field position back here in 3 plays and maybe get the ball near midfield if you can get a 3 and out.
Graves back deep to return the kick from Sean O'Neill. A spiraling boot that bounces at the 11 and takes a friendly Almont bounce. Eli Graves has given the Stags the early lead. They're up 6. All they've done is run it, but it's been effective, and they'll get the football when we come back on Bally Sports. Kingsley has the lead in Division 6, and they have the football. What do they need to do to be victorious here, Roots?
Well, just what we saw in that first drive. Eli's coming. I'm telling you now, the running back, Eli Graves, it depends on how he goes. This offense is only going to be as good as Eli's legs take them. And the other one is, you look at it, it's going to take Kingsley all the defensive people they can have to tackle this offense. You got to have everyone playing their assignment, linebackers, defensive tackles, defensive ends. You get one breakdown, you get a big play against a full house team.
All the Kings men. I really like that. Well done.
I stay up late.
I know you do. Every single running back averaged 5 yards per carry or better on that first drive for Kingsley. They continue at that rate with Eli Graves picking up a good 8, maybe 9 yards. What about Almont? How do they come away with this with a win?
Well, on the offense, you see that clever little pun. All for one, all for run, because they're going to have run a whole bunch of different running backs. So you have to have them all be successful. That starts the offensive line. And then the Gravediggers, Eli Graves, you got to stop him. You got to bury him. You can't let him beat you.
Look at him throw it. Wide open. And he overshot his man. Max Goethals was wide open, but Merchant threw it too deep.
Sorry, partner. What a great time to do it. You get a nice gain on first down. You put yourself in a 2nd and 8. Your offensive running game is working, so let's waste it down. play action, you see everyone bite up, the corners, the safeties, and he's got goal throws running all by himself. Wonderful ball fake. You tell me where it is. You see, puts it right in the belly and then pulls it out from Workman, and just Gavin Merchant can't quite get it there. Sometimes the quarterback, hardest throws when the guy is running wide open. Good play call by Coach Wooer.
3rd and 2. Back to old trustworthy Graves, close to the 30 for a first down.
They're winning up front. And I say that Kingsley's doing a better job running pretty much the same offense, same type of plays, but they're blocking better at the point of attack. That offensive line, when we talk about up front with Glazier, Bott, Scribner, Pearson, and Osborne, they're really doing a nice job in the pulling game, in the down block game, and they're just getting a hat on a hat, and they're staying up and staying on.
Graves 6 carries, 44 yards already in the touchdown.
Mike.
A toss sweep to him, looking for the edge. Good block in front, and he'll settle for 8.
Caleb Bott is 6 foot 195, and he's a guard. And this is when you don't care that they're a little bit smaller because they're athletic. Let's take a look. Number 60 in white as he gets outside. Look him keep running. I love that. It's like a running back. Sometimes offensive linemen, they don't see someone right away and they kind of pull up. What do we do? What do we do? Not Bott. He keeps running. He's looking for a body. He finds color. He hits it. Nice gain.
You've got a lot of friends who are offensive linemen. Be careful there. What do I do? What do I do?
Well, they're just, who do I hit? Who do I hit?
2nd and short. Off play action. And he'll throw it away.
You can see a trend here. When they do well on first down, they get a nice chunk, 7, 8 yards. You come to the play action on 2nd. Much better job by Almont being ready for it that time. They didn't bite up as hard on run fake. They were back in coverage, forcing the errant throw just out of bounds to get rid of it. And that shows you have confidence in the run game. You're picking up 4, 5, 6 yards a chunk. 3rd down and 1 should be no problem, correct?
You would think.
Now let's see what Almont can do about it.
Should be enough. Graves picked it up. Battani on the tackle.
Hey, Coach Wooer said something really interesting about Eli Graves. He says, do you have any of those friends that they don't look super strong because they're kind of long, lean, sinewy muscle? He said, that's how he is. He does look impressive when you see him like in street clothes. He said, he plays so strong, so physical for the size he is.
To the up back, to the 46-yard line. Colson Orton. Good first down run. Kingsley is a school that was established back in 1876. Not a lot of folks attending classes there, but their 2nd all-time finals championship appearance after winning it back in 2005.
Not many then? That's what you're saying in 1876 or now?
Now. And into Almont territory goes Eli Graves.
They're just so much. They're just chunking right now. They're chunking this defense of Almont. So much fun for an offensive coordinator when you know you're getting 5, 6 yards of play. We've played Army in the past at Eastern Michigan, and this how it can be real frustrating because they just 14, 16 play drive you. And you can see a little bit of hands on the hips there for the Almont Raiders front, wearing them down.
They stick with Old Reliable. Paying off another first down run. Close to the 35 before Battani makes the tackle on Graves.
Well, let's keep an eye right here. You're going to see him pull all the way from the backside. You can see a little counter action. Let it go. They do a really good job coming from the backside. They pull and create a nice seam.
They hurry to the line of scrimmage with the first quarter about to end. They'll let it run out. A fast-moving first, an impressive moving first on the part of the Kingsley Stags offense. Nothing but a ground attack. That's what they're known for. They believe everything is won and lost up front. That's why they're winning early in the Division VI state championship game. This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals is brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Family's not just our name, it's our company, but the way we do business. By your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer. At Ford Field for the state championships in Division 6. 1 quarter in the books, 6-0 in favor of Kingsley. Both these teams love to run the football. Why has Kingsley been more effective than Almont?
Well, you alluded to it heading into the break. They're winning up front. The offensive line of Kingsley's doing a great job. Almont's having a hard time standing up to that physical play up front. So let's see what the second quarter brings, if it changes the trend of this game at all.
Kingsley on the move, and another first down play for them. 116 total yards of offense so far. This will be their 20th play of the night already. Big pop at the line of scrimmage. Good pressure brought against Skylar Workman. It was Aiden Furquan who made the first hit.
Yeah, and he got a little bit of help from Cohen, his brother Cohen Furquan as well. That time they read the pull. The backside tackle and guard both started to pull, and they filled quickly to where they were pulling. Don't go where they were, go where they're heading. Read your keys, fill, good stop. Now it puts a little bit of pressure on this Kingsley offense.
Graves tripped up. Those Furquan brothers in the middle, Aiden wearing 42 in black, Cohen 26, combined 100, or make it 214 tackles together.
3rd down and 7, not the comfort zone for the Kingsley Stags. This is a run-first team. That's the bad news. The good news is you've run it well enough that you could probably just say this is 4-down territory. We have 2 runs to move the sticks. We don't have to get 7 yards here.
So far, the Stags are 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. To the up back. And dragged down at the 30-yard line is Colson Orton.
Well, when you defend a wing tee, a full house tee, any type of team that runs the different plays, watch inside. This is a little trap inside. It gets through quickly, but the big fella, I'm getting a number there, Shep. Did you help me out on that number? Did you get a look? There he is.
Noah Campbell.
Noah was able to get a hold of the running back that time and get him down quickly. Now, 4th down and 5. Let's see if they do some ball faking and try to get to the edge with their quarterback, Gavin Merchant.
A toss sweep to Graves. All kinds of room. One man to beat. Cuts inside. Touchdown. This is a team that doesn't kick extra points. They go for 2 all the time. Another toss, another cutback, and more pay dirt for Graves. The 2-point conversion is good. He scored the first one from 3 yards out. He scored his second one of the night from 30 yards away. 14-0 Stags early on.
Well, the Kingsley Stags are showing that they're a little bit versatile and they got a little bit of funk going on their offense. We're going to pause right here. You're going to see reverse spin by the tackle. He does this. You run a little fake trap inside. You're going to lead here, and you're going to hook block with the tight end. Then Eli just gets clear path. Let it go. A lot on that board there, Shep. But look at this. A spin, reverse pull, and there was no one. Eli Graves gets outside, and he's like, wait a minute. This is too easy. A little cutback against the grain. Lucas Mantini really doesn't have a chance, number 14 in space. They fake the fullback trap, which is greeted by about 3 Almont Raiders. But the bad part is the ball was not there. Really well designed and even better executed.
Eli Graves, Rubes, 12 carries, 106 yards, and a couple of scores already.
We should have highlighted him in the open. Oh, wait. We did.
I think you know what you're talking about. Kingsley as a team, averaging over 7 yards per touch. It's a problem for Almont, but they've got a chance to try and fix it.
I think you're going to see a different drive here by the Raiders. The Almont Raiders this time are going to put something together, and what a way to get it started. You get 81, the ball. You got he's deep to receive, and he's really good. When you look at Luke Winkler, like I said, last week took from the distance, taking a few this year, all the way for touchdowns.
Winkler and Jacob Fuller are back deep to receive it. It's a short kick. That'll be fielded and returned going east and west. This is Aiden Furquan. The linebacker pulls his way to the 47-yard line. You've noticed, I'm sure, that Tim Moore is wearing a USA shirt with number 54 and the name Hansen on the back. Well, it's a tribute to one of his dear friends and a man who used to play for him. It's Justin Hansen. Justin Hansen was a Marine Special Ops officer, and he was killed in Afghanistan on July 24th of 2012. It was Coach Ward who actually was there and was honored to give the eulogy at his funeral. He says our team talks about him all the time. They give out what is considered a full throttle award, and Furquan full throttling his way down to the 32. But real quick, the full throttle Hansen hard hat award, but it's only been handed out once. It was back in 2019. Every year, Kingsley, even though that brave soldier was killed in 2012, every year they wear 54 on their helmets as a tribute. Big drive here for the Raiders of Almont. Keep it on the ground. Good tackle.
Number 5, John Wims. We talk about recognition and reading and how much faster it makes you as a player. When you can read quickly. Stephen Boyd, former Detroit Lion, such a great reader. He was a 4'9" guy, but he played at 4'7" because he read things so quickly. Wims does it at last play. He's from his safety position. He sees it so quickly. He fires. He shoots to the lane and gets there and for a very, very no little gain. Loss of almost a full yard. So a nice job by John Wims for Kingsley.
Almont trying to get back on schedule, second and long. To the fullback. Breaking free to the outside and then drilled out of bounds. Jacob Stewart. First carry of the night, and it's a good one.
Well, we talked about Jacob Stewart averaging 13.6 yards per carry, and now they line him up at the fullback, and it's the fullback trap. It's the bread and butter to a lot of full house T games. If you can run that fullback, you keep hitting him and you fake it all the time, sooner or later you give it and he's able to break a tackle. That's a sophomore showing some good vision and some good strength. With nice gain and really, really important drive for the Almont Raiders here.
Missed 6 weeks with a broken collarbone. Almont is glad he's back. Tripped up inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Furquan hit by John Wims again.
Tackled by John Wims.
Some people look, they watch, you try to get him engaged. Number 5, John Wims, he's quick to the trigger now. He sees it, he reacts, and he, as quick as you can get up there, he flies to the football, really doing a nice job. You know, Coach talked about him a little bit and just said he loves how aggressive, how he doesn't think too much. Some players overthink stuff, not John Wims.
It's second down and goal for Davidowski and the Raiders offense. They have 5 seconds on the play clock. They got to hurry. They get it off. And Aiden Furquan is tackled again for no gain. John Pearson came up, made the tackle. Number 1 in white.
Stopped by Pearson.
Third down and 10 now. You're really out of style here. You don't get to do what you probably want to do, and that's run the football. But third down and 11, actually. Look for some type of action in the backfield and get the quarterback, Davidowski, out of the pocket, able to run pass option.
Straight drop back. Across the middle and broken up. Eli Graves, good break on the ball. Incomplete.
Davidowski's pass incomplete.
Man, I think if Davidowski let it go, we're going to watch right in here. They're going to run a corner route. He's going to be wide open. Let it go. He's able to get behind the linebackers. You can see him setting free. He got about 3 yards separation. He locked instead to the right on the running back, trying to get in the ball. It gets tipped a little bit, and it gets tipped again. And Winkler can't come up with the catch. But, man, if he went the other way, he had Caden Dural coming wide open on the corner.
Good tip by Grant Colbus, number 50 in white. Forces the field goal attempt from Sean O'Neill. 3 for 5 on the year. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It's not the result the Raiders wanted, but Almont will take the points. They needed him on that drive. It was an impressive drive that stalled at the 10, but delivered on a field goal to make it 14-3 Kingsley.
Welcome back into Ford Field. Kingsley leads this one 14-3, but I gotta tell you guys about Zach Troop. His job isn't just to be on the offensive line for Almont. He's got a nice side gig, if you didn't know. He serves as the president of the school 4-H club in Macomb County. This guy, he does it all. He's earned awards, including grand champion for his market beef, and that's not all. This guy raises turkeys. He helps teach kids the importance of farming and rural education. Talk about a busy schedule. This guy's going from the field to the farm almost every day. I mean, that's a busy guy.
And getting up early to do it.
And there's some professional food right there, better known as a cow.
Well, I thought you were going to talk about the turkey. Because that turkey,
Well,
that
turkey was too skinny. It needs to grow up a little bit. That yard bird wouldn't last very long in our house.
No, it wouldn't.
Not with my boys.
Not on your plate. All right. Kingsley will get it back, up 14-3. A good return to the 34-yard line. David Wims. Now a message from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
As property manager, I use Family Heating and Cooling because they're honest, they're on time, and fair priced.
Contact us today to find out what our family can do for your family.
With Rob Rubick, Natalie Kerwin, I'm Matt Shepard. Welcome on this championship Saturday in downtown Detroit. It's Division 6 bragging rights on the line. Kingsley up 14-3 on Almont, and the Stags of Kingsley have the football again at their own 35-yard line. The Division 2 state championship game immediately follows. It'll be Muskegon against Warren De La Salle on that one. Kingsley already 150 yards on the ground, and they'll add to it with a pickup of 4.
Well, you know, when you score as many points such as Almont does, it's nice to have something a little extra on a field goal. Watch after the kick, the T flip. The T up and caught. No extra points, but something for style. You gotta like it.
Love it too.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's when your kicker's bored during practice. He tells the holder, hey, let's do something here. Let's kill some time. The golf course isn't open for another half an hour.
Let's do something that Rob Rubick will talk about on the broadcast, shall we? Two-man backfield for Kingsley. They'll go to work with Eli Graves, dragging his way for a first down.
Graves, wrapped up by Dominic Medley. He's out to the 46-yard
Well, really nice job pulling left to right. Block down. And you see the big fellas pulling there, getting out in front. You got Cole Osborne allows Max Gothels, and they're just flushing the hole, just creating a lot of space. That offensive line of Kingsley and White here is winning.
And helping win again. Graves is going to take them out for a steak dinner following this one.
And watch how they stay on, Shep. We're going to show this. You're going to see the backside Gothels pulls. We're going to watch these guys pull to the play side. Okay, let it go. Now watch when they get over there. They hit their blocks. They stay on. A good job pulling inside. There, boom, watch Gothels come up. Stay on. The back gets run right by. That's what it's all about. You don't have to push a guy far or knock him down. Stay up, stay on. Let the running back cut off your block.
Tim Moore actually says Gothels is their best blocker. Graves looking for the edge again.
Graves goes out of bounds, chased by Winkler.
love the patience of Graves. He just waits for his lineman. They're going to run that far. Caleb Bott says, I appreciate it, and I'll get you a little something, something. He runs by the first guy, and Eli says, you know what, I'm carrying the ball about 25 times. I don't have to try to finish every run.
Picked up 14 on the play. 135 yards and a couple of touchdowns for Eli Graves so far here tonight.
We talked about one of the keys was Gravediggers trying to bury number 2, Eli Graves. So far, it's been a struggle for that Almont defense.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And this is interesting now, Shep. You need to get ahead of the sticks in this offense. Now you're going to start out a 5-yard deficit.
Trent Anderson is our referee here today. Or Max Werner, rather. Trent Anderson is one of the other officials. He's the umpire. Warner from St. Joseph out in that area. That's where all these this refereeing
Kalamazoo
crews,
area,
yep.
southwest side of the state.
Some Kalamazoo and Portage and Schoolcraft and Waterville. Isaiah Cosgrove in as a running back. It's just a decoy. This one inside the 25 for Skylar Workman. And another first down for Kingsley.
1st and 15, just went a little inside counter, and Workman comes through basically untouched about the first 6 or 8 yards. And as I said earlier, I talked about Glazier and Bott up front with Scribner, the center, Pearson and Osborne. They're doing just an unbelievable job. They all are athletic. They all pull. So it doesn't limit you maybe being right-handed or left-handed. You can go either way, inside, outside. What a luxury for Coach Wooer.
Workman picked up 15 on that play to move the chains again. To the up back. That's Orton. Colson Orton driven back after a gain of a couple. Now, Tim Moore told us that when we get off the bus, a lot of people scratch their head a little bit. But when you watch our kids play, you know they come to play. He said we're small, just a couple of kids on his offensive line.
It's 2nd down and 6.
Over 200 pounds, or they're all over 200 pounds. The wrestling program, huge. It helps their toughness. Graves.
Graves to the 12-yard line. Tackled by 4. First down, Kingsley.
Maybe they take a shot here, Shep. You know, coaches sometimes get a little bit greedy. You run. But you tell me if you go play action here, there might be someone just standing in the end zone all by themselves. But sometimes, you know, there's 2 types of coaches. Coaches that like to do that, kind of be a little bit pretty. These other ones just say, we're pounding the ball on you. We're going to continue to pound it.
That's their identity. Graves lowered the shoulder, driven backwards. Gordon Stolecki, number 55 in black, in there to help on the tackle, along with Cohen Furquan.
Yeah, they do better. They being Kingsley and White in the trap and the counter game when they're pulling people. Now that was just a lead with 2 backs leading the 3rd back through the hole, but really with no pulling action, a good job with gap integrity up front, really clogging it up and limiting the game.
A cutback and a good one by Workman to the 5-yard line. They need to get to the 2 for a first down. Aiden Furquan made sure he didn't get any more after that.
You know, talking to Coach Wooer, I said, who's your best offensive lineman? He said, well, I got a couple that I really like up front. And you know, he pointed out James Pearson, 55, but he said Caleb Bott is a finisher. This is a kid that we really like because I talked about earlier how athletic he is in space. But he says in tight situations, he finishes his blocks.
I formation behind the quarterback, Gavin Merchant. Graves, touchdown, his 3rd of the night.
This is nothing new. We saw this in the last drive. You can see 1, 2, and then the 3rd guy is going to get it right through. And look at the block. Look at the hole inside. What a nice job of that interior line making room. You see Caleb Bott, number 60 there, getting a good drive block as well. Getting a good lead block by Max Golthos, number 11. You know, sometimes you can know where they're going, but if you're blocking it well enough, you're good enough, it does not matter.
Off play action for the corner. Got it. Eli Graves on the receiving end of that 2-point conversion.
Well, let's take a look at this, Shep. If he got a foot in. It looked like he got 2 to me, but I can't see if they were on the white here. We're going to look, toss. He's going to leave his feet. Where does he land? Ooh, I think that's coming back because his left foot is in, but I think his right foot hits first. Does his right foot touch down? No, that's it. Well, I thought his left foot was in first. Yeah, I think the back foot got down first, Shep. What do you think?
After further review, the try is no good.
Really? Wow, run that again. Can we take another look at that first view we had? Let's see.
Yeah, that left foot goes down
Yeah,
first.
I think it was the other view from the side looking back right here. Let's go slow, and left foot is down now. Boy, that's close. That is close. So I guess it looks like probably simultaneously, so they just say, nope, the left was not in first, so nice. Best part, Shep, that was a quick replay.
He can't ruin the night of Eli Graves. He has busted in from 3 yards out, 30 yards out, and 5 yards out to give the Stags a 20-3 lead. And now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
This special presentation of the MHSAA football finals on Bally Sports Detroit is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Well, I want to tell you guys a really special program at Almont High School. It's called Links. It pairs students with a peer with special needs, and they help these special needs students navigate through their school day. There's a few football players that are a part of this program that are paired with a guy named Ben Shurig. Now, Ben, he loves the sport of football. Look what they let him do this year. He ran a 40-yard touchdown during a game this year. Take a look at this. Waving to the crowd. He's so into it. The team cheering him on as he makes his way to the end zone. Incredible. Back in September against Imlay City, look at the team celebrating with him. What an incredible program at this high school, Links. This Links program, it's amazing. You can see the impact that this program has on so many of these kids, and the football players, they love being a part of it too. They just absolutely love it, and you can see Ben there. This is amazing. Football's his favorite sport, and the fact that he got to run a touchdown, that was the best part of his life, Coach told me.
Boy, that's what community's all about. And credit to Imlay City, who
well,
they
that's hats off
yeah.
to the Spartans of Imlay City for allowing that. And the Links program is incredible. I was a teacher for 30 years. My good friend Matt Nowak ran our Links program in Lapeer. And people think, oh, you know, the special needs students get so much out of it. They don't get anything compared to the student that is their link.
The extra point was good.
That helps them out, how to act socially in certain situations. And it's just one of the best programs going in education.
Yeah, that's a feel-good story right there, Natalie. Thank you for that. The extra point was good. So they looked at it, and they consider it good. It's the right call because the left foot was down in time. So 22-3, and on the return, a good one to the outside. Winkler, he's got good speed inside the 20, broke a tackle and then wrestled down inside the 10. That'll give you some momentum right there.
Shep, we were talking earlier about Luke Winkler, that he took one to the house against over at LC last week, and how it really changed the flow of the game. He sets up into the middle, then a nice cut, he gets to the edge, and now it's just, I'm a little bit faster than all the white shirts chasing me. Finally, he gets tracked down at the very end by David Wims. Is able to get him before he goes all the way, but Luke Winkler showing a little bit of turbo thrust in that run. Boy, that is something that exactly what the doctor ordered for this Raider offense of Almont.
Single setback up the gut. It's Jacob Stewart inside the 5.
Number 6, Jacob Stewart, the ball carrier, runs into number 50, Grant Colvitz.
And here's a prominent run game, and I've seen this many times. We're going to just let it go. We're going to watch the run inside, but when this play is done, You can see a whole bunch of white shirts on the ball, and there's about 4 black shirts standing behind. Those offensive linemen have got to stay in their blocks long. You just can't hit and release. This isn't like pretend fishing when you catch and release. You got to hit and stick.
Second down and goal from the 4. A toss to Aiden Furquan. Wrestling his way to the 2-yard line. That was actually Chase Batani getting the call. 32, not 42. And a timeout on the field with 1:07 remaining in the half.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what needs to be done here. What needs to be done is you need 7. You're not settling for a field goal. If you're Almont, you got 2 plays to get 3 downs. You still have 1:07, so the clock is not a factor right now. So you as a coaching staff, you say, fellas, give us our best play right now. I don't care if it's a pass play, if it's a reverse. What do we think that is going to work? Because you want to score on this play. You don't want to put all your eggs into 4th down. Even though you're going to go for it, use it now. Don't wait to 4th down. Use it now. And I don't know. Right now, they really haven't much success. The fullback trap worked once or twice, but really not much there.
How much does the 4th down call matter on what this call is about to?
Well, I don't think your 4th down call, you don't know yet. You have to wait and see. Do we gain yards? Are we on the 1? Do we lose yardage here? Because it could change on what happens here. That's what I'm saying is right now you go for broke with this play. This is your money play.
James Loosby talking to his offense. He thinks his team is resilient and tough-minded, even though it's young. Originally at the beginning of the season, Loosby said, we were hoping to compete for the conference title. We had to go through the gauntlet of North Branch and Armada and Croswell, all bigger, more physical teams, and we're able to do it. Can they do it here on 3rd and goal from the 2?
It's 3rd and goal from the 2.
Well, they're loaded 11 up in the box.
Furquan, no. Second effort to the 3. Lost a yard.
I really think you got to get to the edge now. Maybe run a halfback pass. I mean, right now yards are tough between the tight ends for Almont. Maybe you hand it off and have him sprint and then have him pull up and lick your tight end to the corner, something. But you're just not making any hay between the tackles right now. You're getting physically handled up front. See if they wait and call a timeout here. I think they will because the play clock's going to run down too quick.
6 to get the playoff. Oh, look at that.
Coach is running on the side, though. Yeah,
I thought Kingsley jumped.
Yeah, I think they did. If they blew.
Offsides, defense, half the distance to the goal, still 4th down.
Good hard count. You can see into the neutral zone in high school, the play is blown dead. There's no getting back. Even the offense doesn't move. Once you cross that invisible barrier, play's dead. Funny part is you looked in the Almont sideline, I don't know if it's Coach Loosby, one of the coaches is running down the side trying to get a timeout.
Mm-hmm. Loosby taking his time, explaining things to his quarterback with his offensive line out there. Remember Cole Willard, Isaiah Bankston, the left side, number 70 and 59 in black, are their big blockers up front to try and get that tough 1 or 2 yards that they need. Let's see where they go. And looks like we're going to get a timeout here with 19 seconds left in the opening half. Teams and players and coaches work really hard all week getting ready for this game, but so do the officials. Local officials meetings across the state every week help the men and the women calling the action stay on top of their game. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted. All you got to do is whistle.
Well, we talked about Shep. You said, well, what are they calling for? You wait for 4th down. Don't you call them 4th down? Well, now it changes twice. You know, initially they were up there as going to be 4th and 3. Now it's 4th and 1.5 yards because of the offside penalty. And I don't know what Coach Lusby has in his game of bag of tricks right now. Whatever he's got, whatever he feels is a good 2-point conversion. If you, in a game where you have a 2-point play, a lot of teams have a couple 3. You need to pull that out right now.
Champions of the Blue Water Area Conference, they are stunned a little bit here. They're used to scoring at will, averaging 42 points per game in the postseason. But as you see there, has been held to just 3 points so far here in the first half. This is big for them.
Well, you got the big back in Furquan, 42.
The toss to the outside and a nice cutback for the touchdown. Aiden Furquan carries it in, the first touchdown of the night for Almont.
They're going to toss sweep. They're going to lead here. Everyone's going to hook outside. And Furquan does a good job of reading the blocks, staying patient. And Coach Lusby, what do you say? I say, I think I like it. I think I like it. Hey, we haven't seen that play in a while. He kept that as the first time. They really run a toss like a power sweep with 2 backs leading the 3rd.
Powerful leg kicks it through. Remember, Almont will get the ball to start the second half. They deferred on the kickoff. That could be a double dip for the Raiders.
Here's a look. This is just getting. We're gonna get hooks outside, and then we're gonna lead. Good job and get pinched inside. And Eli Graves does a nice job of not getting caught up in the wash, but he just over pursues. Number 2 in white, that would be Eli Graves coming here. He over pursues, and Furquan is able to cut underneath it and get in the end zone. Talk about how fast you can read things. Sometimes you can read too quick and go too hard, and that's what happened to Eli Graves, where you might have had a chance for a little one-on-one action against Furquan at the 1-yard line.
Remember the key play on the drive, though, the 80-yard kickoff return by Luke Winkler to set things up for his offense.
Yeah, anytime you get a short field like that, it makes offense, being an offense coordinator, a lot easier. Coach Lusby got a little bit pleased. Now, still 2-possession game. But Almont right now says, okay, can go in the locker room and say, listen, we got beat up a little bit here. We got mauled by that offensive line. We may make some adjustments, and we start pinching inside, getting into some gaps, or whatever we need to do. We still have a half of football, as you said, Shep. They're going to get the ball, start the second half. They get a positive drive there and could have a ball game.
Line drive kick. That'll be fielded on 2 hops by Eli Graves. Powers his way to the 25-yard line. 9 seconds remaining in the half. At the half. Stay with us. A live interview with MHSAA Executive Director Mark Ewell. We'll preview the Division II title game between De La Salle and Muskegon. What makes it unique, we'll tell you about that and go inside the locker room with both coaches. De La Salle waiting for their opportunity for what they hope will be a three-peat.
Oh, they know where the cameras are, that's for sure. They've been here enough.
Helps to be on the big board, that's for sure.
That's true.
Merchant will just take a knee. They'll be satisfied with a 22-10 lead. Kingsley very impressive with their ground attack. Graves with 3 touchdowns. Tim Moore felt like they had to be physical to win this game here tonight. Both head coaches felt like they had to be physical. It has been a battle up front, but right now it's Kingsley with the lead.
Yeah, not what I expect. I really thought the overall speed of Almont would be a bigger factor, but what happened is just the opposite. It's the physicality and the size and the line play of Kingsley that's been the difference here in the first half. Just too much up front. They're blocking so well, and as we point out a couple of times, Shep, they do a great job of staying up and staying on. You got a back that's as patient and as talented as Eli Graves. It pays dividends.
Kingsley, 220 yards on the ground in the first half with 3 touchdowns, and they averaged almost 7 yards per carry. That's how effective those guys up front were, and that's how good their running backs have been. So Tim Moore has to be somewhat satisfied, but not many head coaches are fully satisfied. Let's see what he has to say with Natalie Kerwin. Natalie?
Coach Orr, 3 touchdowns to get things going early here. What do you see in Almont's defense that's allowed you? What do you see in their defense that you're able to exploit?
Well, I think it's hopefully more about our kids. I think our offensive line's playing really, really well up front. Games are won and lost up front. We preach that to our kids all the time. Often, I'm happy with our defensive line as well. We just gave up a huge kick return. Otherwise, I think defensively we're playing really well up front as well.
We got to talk about your O-line too. How impressed are you with those guys up front?
Well, and that's what we just talked about. Yeah, when you can control the line of scrimmage, continue to get first downs, keep it out of their offense, and they're explosive players. That's key, and it'll be key in the second half as well.
All right, best of luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Shep, up to you.
Kingsley has some spectacular views, some of the most beautiful areas up there. It was a beautiful first half of offense for Kingsley, so much so that they got 3 touchdowns from one of their best players, Eli Graves, and they lead it 22-10. When we come back, Mark Ewell will join us. We'll talk about football and more after this. The MHSAA Football Finals on Bally Sports is brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. And by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer. Eli Graves was a game changer in the first half for Kingsley. He and the Stags are up 22-10 in the Division 6 state championship game. What a weekend it has been so far, and we're expecting great things as we continue here from Ford Field. Executive Director of the MHSAA, Mark Ewell, joins us. Happy belated Thanksgiving to you and your family. I know it was a busy one because you headed out to Boise, Idaho. Your son is playing for Air Force. How's he doing?
He's doing good. Quick trip, 8-4 record, so looking forward to a good bowl game. But came up a little short against the Broncos yesterday.
Well, this is a busy weekend for you and your staff as always. How's it been so far, and what are your thoughts on moving to the Saturday-Sunday format?
So 2 of the very best partners that we have are Michigan State and Ford Field. And given the new Big Ten contract with TV, it was a 1-year dilemma for them. So we've made it work. Saturday, today's been great so far. We're looking to 4 more good games tomorrow. The thing is, when you've got issues that come up and you've got 2 really good partners and friends, you try and find a way forward, and we've been able to do that.
Well, you're a great partner with us as well. The Division 2 state championship game follows this, and then tomorrow night, things get capped off with these 8 games overall at Ford Field with the Division 1 state championship. How do you think that affects attendance?
The Sunday thing will be fascinating to me because we're not going up against any college football tomorrow. The Lions, of course, played on Thursday. We actually look pretty smart because the last game on Sunday night, it's 2 Metro Detroit area teams. So those worries or concerns about, school day on Monday and travel and getting home. I'm glad Menominee plays at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But the puzzle came together, and it's a great kind of capital of the football world this year. It's been this weekend. It's been great.
Rubes and I were talking before our broadcast. He's been doing this over 30 years. I've been almost doing it 30 years myself. You love this. What makes it so passionate for you, the football state championships?
I think it's because our high school kids get to end up in the same place where our pro team plays. It makes it special. It's not the road to the finals. It's the road to Ford Field. In basketball, it's the road to the Breslin. We're so lucky to have good relationships with those either pro or Big Ten level venues in our state, and it just makes it a once-in-a-lifetime experience when your kid gets to finish in one of those places.
Yeah, you bring up basketball. Once football ends, it never ends for you and your staff. What do you turn the page to next?
We have our biggest board meeting, first board meeting of the year next week, Friday, and before you know it, we'll blink twice, and winter tournaments will be up and going. So the treadmill never stops. It's always on to the next thing, and we get one in the rearview mirror this weekend, and then winter sports will be here in full swing.
It's always a fun time for you. I know it's a labor of love, but it is an awful lot of fun. You do a great job with it. Thanks for your time, and a happy belated Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much. Mark Ewell is the executive director for MHSAA. It's a big reason why these go off without a hitch every single year. And what a first half it has been so far in the Division 6 state championship game. Kingsley leads Almont 22-10 on Bally Sports.
The MHSAA football finals on Bally Sports Detroit are brought to you by Glassman Automotive. Got it at Glassman. All right, it's 22-10 here. Kingsley leads this one heading into the second half. Plenty more to come. You don't want to miss it. Stick around right after this.
Kingsley scored every time they had the ball. 22-10, they lead at the break. Let's take a look at the first half stats. What jumps out at you here, Rob Rubick?
Well, expected, not expected. I really thought you would see much better numbers put up by the Almont Raiders in the run game. This is a little bit unexpected, too. I didn't think we'd see that type of dominance. I watched some film. I didn't see Kingsley line dominating the defensive front like they have here this evening. They have been the best portion of any team here tonight is Kingsley's offensive line.
Boy, the 15 first downs for Kingsley, very, very impressive. You know, the Almont starting the second half with the football, they feel like they've got a little bit of momentum on their side. They scored just before the break to get to within 12. The second half upcoming next. Well, the Lions didn't fare well Thanksgiving Day here at Ford Field. Michigan State didn't Friday night. But we know Kingsley in the first half has fared very well, and they look really good. With Rob Rubick, I'm Matt Shepard. Division VI bragging rights on the line right now. Kingsley very impressive. The ground attack, we thought these two teams would mirror one another, but Kingsley really getting that push up front has to be impressive.
It really is, and they do mirror each other. The problem is one is a little bit fractured, and that's the Almont mirror right now because they're not seeing the same thing in the production that Kingsley is here. And this starts out early. We talk about Eli Graves. They come out in a straight eye. They just run some power at you. They get in the end zone. And then once again, they run a toss. And Eli Graves has the ability of having a caravan in front of him, able to make a nice run for the second touchdown. And just more of the same right here, Shep. Just power football, getting inside. A physical runner does a really nice job running downhill. And then the two-point conversion, he's able to tip-tap, get the toe in there a little bit. Great job. Not a bad job by Merchant, the quarterback. Either tossing, make a catch well. Then Eden Furquan finally gets in the end zone there, does a nice job getting in there and shortening the lead, make it a little bit closer. As you said, they got a chance of double dip scoring right before the half, and they're going to get the ball to start the second.
First half's highlights brought to you by Wallside Windows. Always an adjustment in football, especially at the half. James Loosby talking to his team, the Almont Raiders, on how they get back into this quickly in the third quarter.
Okay? It's time to man up and go get them. They are not the better team than you. Okay? Find it in yourself right now to dig down and take down level up one. Okay? If not up two. Go get them. Hey, don't let them come to you. You go get them this half. All right? You saw what they done. We know what they do. Let's go make it, change it to our thing. Let's go. Let's get going. Let's go.
He said, you know, when we get down early, our kids can take it. We tweak a little things. We're going to be prepared. So he was ready, and he's ready to talk with Natalie Kerwin as well. Natalie?
Coach, what was the message to your defense to try and slow down Eli Graves in their run game this next half?
We got to bring our pad level down and match their intensity off the ball. That's really what it comes down to.
You were the last ones to score in that half. You get the ball here to start. How do you carry this momentum?
We got to go down and score, and then have our defense get out there and get a quick 3 and out, and then put the ball back in our hands so we can control the rest of the game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Shep, Rubens.
All right, Natalie, thanks very much. His team it's a good question, trying to control Eli Graves, because Graves has been the story for Kingsley early on with 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 from 3 yards away, 1 from 30 yards away, and 1 from 5 yards out.
But do you really think that Eli Graves is the story? I mean, you think about his runs. I'm not saying they weren't good runs, but that offensive line has just done a job. I mean, he's a patient runner. He does a nice job of reading his blocks, but they've really had some convoys in front of him here tonight. And granted, he has 3 touchdowns. You can't take that away, but I'm an old tight end. I like that offensive line play, and it's been really spectacular for the Stags.
Rubes, that's because a lot of those offensive linemen are wrestlers.
Yeah, they're tough.
You usually don't think of wrestlers associated with a quarterback position, but Gavin Merchant is. This is a kid who has wrestled a couple of times here at Ford Field and will be a top 10 wrestler in the state again. Already, Rubes, Division I offers to wrestle at the next level.
Look at the legs, huh? Wrestlers are just, you're right, I don't usually see quarterbacks. You see in the defensive line, Hudson a couple of years ago, I did their game, and the Tigers had, 4 or 5 wrestlers up front. But these were like 160, 150, 140-pound guys. Right. Tough. You know how to keep people off your legs. Your great strength through the forearms and your hands. You can catch and release and toss bodies. Right there, Gavin Merchant, he's good at just handing the ball off and throwing it every now and then.
And, his quiet confidence is really what propels this team.
Calming is what Coach said.
Yeah, kids really gravitate toward him as a leader. Sometimes the word leader is overused, but what Merchant does as well as anybody is listen to other members of his team. Coach said that as well. He will watch his team's defense try to stop Almont to start the third. But up 22-10, a squib kick that will be fielded inside the 20 by Jacob Fuller. Skirts his way close to the 35-yard line. And now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Now with Holiday Cash, returning AZ Plan Escape lessees can lease an Escape for $239 a month for 24 months. See your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
The one score before the half for Almont really keyed by the Luke Winkler 80-yard kickoff return. They don't have that situation here, but they start at their own 33. Chase Davidowski with a give to Winkler. Stretching it out and dragged down after a gain of perhaps 2.
Well, they've tried it between the tackles. That time they thought use Winkler's speed and get around the edge. But just a nice job flowing by that defense of Kingsley. As you can see, coming up doing a really good job is Bodie Bayless, number 22, as you said, Shep. Runs him out of bounds, showing some good lateral speed.
Kingsley defense allows just 19 points per game. So we talk a lot about their offense, but the defense has been rock solid. Breaking free! Anybody gonna catch him? No way! But Tanny to the house!
This is outstanding. We're going to watch. It's going to be a toss to Bantini coming wide. Let it go. Now watch what happens. Let it go. Stop right there. Look at all the white shirts over pursuing. It creates a natural cutback lane. Bantini sees it, or Batani rather, sees it and turns it up. Chase shows some outstanding top end speed.
The extra point is up and the extra point is good. 65 yards on the one run by Chase Batani to get his team a little bit closer and within 5.
And here's another look, block down, kick out at the point, over pursuit, cut back, runs into his own guy, does not matter. And then Chase just shows that he's got a good family, you know, good speed in that family. David Kirk, his former Detroit Lion, is his cousin from Imlay City, just up the road from Almont, and David flew in from Florida here to watch his cousin play tonight, and I think that's pretty good, and what a way to reward David in his effort to get up here.
Almont had 63 yards rushing total in the first half. Chase Batani had 65 yards on that touchdown sprint alone. Now we've got ourselves a totally different ball game.
And look at the score. Look at how it has changed. It was a 22-3 at one time, Shep. Then they had the kick return by Winkler, which set him up for the short touchdown. And they start the second half with a long touchdown. 22-3 game is evaporated. 22-17. Let's go.
Big plays.
Let's go.
So important.
Yeah. Loving it. Loving it. Let's see how sudden change, how Kingsley handles this.
This one squibs out of bounds. Well, that'll help.
Kingsley's been pretty efficient here in the first half. We're going to take a look at their drives, Shep, in the first half and what they're able to accomplish because of really excellent blocking and some running as well by Eli Graves.
Max Warner, our referee.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. Kingsley will take the ball at the 35. First down.
As we talked about the drive chart, Shep. Pretty good. Look at that. TD in halftime. So I don't know if Kingsley has a punter yet. We will find out maybe in the second half.
Kingsley just took a knee on that final drive of the half. They opened this drive with a gain of about 3 to Eli Graves.
We talk about, about stealing possession sometimes. Let's see if this Almont defense somehow can get a stop. You run some A-gap blitzes with your inside linebackers, try to get some negative plays, because right now Kingsley's been good at staying ahead of the chains the entire game, getting 3, 4, 5 on first down, as we just saw him pick up 4 there. What is Almont going to do to counter that?
To the fullback, where they sniffed it out well that time. Orton, minimal gain. Aiden Frickwon, who had one of the touchdowns, the touchdown before the first half closed for the Raiders.
Now, people my age are going to appreciate this. Watch this. This is kind of like a cross block with your guards. There they go. They cross, one kicks out, the other one kind of takes that nose man and drives him. We get another look here. You see 66 doing a nice job kicking out that time. That's Mason Glazier. 66 in white doing a great job.
Kingsley 4 for 5 on third down conversion so far. Off play action. Merchant throws, and it is hauled in for a first down. Eli Graves, who did it all with his legs in the first half, catches the pass here to keep the drive alive in the third quarter.
Usually when the team throws on third down, it doesn't surprise you, but this kind of surprised me. You can see all the run action. You see Bolt pulling number 60 to give him protection on the edge. And a good job giving just enough time to allow Merchant, the quarterback, to find the receiver and make the completion. The third down pass on 3rd and 4 is a little bit unexpected by the Stags.
High formation behind him. Fumble!
Got it back. Ooh, Eli Graves going through. Someone stuck an arm out, ripped it clean. And man, would that have been a huge turnover if Almont could have got on top of that one. We're going to look here coming through. Still, ball pops free. Shep, I played a lot of years of football. I was just telling my wife the other day, I don't think I was ever in on one of those fumble piles. I think I always had something else going on more important. Eli Graves doesn't have anything more important, and he's able to recover his own fumble.
Kingsley's only lost 1 fumble all year long. They give it to Graves again, pushing the pile into Almont territory.
We talk about plays sometimes can set up other plays. If we get just a quick look at that last one, it's just that straight eye. We've seen it with the 3 backs, Shep. And one of these times, I think somewhere down the line, you're going to see Merchant, where they fake to that 3rd back. He's going to pull it and maybe attack the edge on like a naked boot even. Because now the Raiders of Almont are just committing so hard, and they see that stacked eye, that 3-man back. They're just attacking that A-gap on both sides.
3rd down and 5.
Pass last time.
They'll do it again. Nope, they give it to the 46-yard line is Colson Orton.
Well, this is pretty good ball action because I'm looking downfield at coverage, Shep. I thought it was a pass. You took me back to where the ball is. Let's let it go here and watch the ball faking. Oh,
it's like a Statue of
kind of the
Liberty.
old wraparound. Yeah. Kind of sneak the ball in. You go behind the back. He puts it there. Didn't Boise run something like that way back in a bowl game
against
when
Oklahoma?
They beat Oklahoma, right. But to the Raiders of Almont's credit, they were ready. Big play, 4th and 2.
1 for 1 on 4th downs. A toss. Graves. This will be an interesting spot.
Some pads hitting down there now, I'm telling you.
Aiden Frickwon went face mask to face mask.
Well, you know who they're going to probably give it to. That's number 2, Eli Graves, because he's the go-to back, and he's able just to get it up. But as you said, was it Aiden Frickwon, Shep, that came in and really filled? We're going to look here. This is just the power of the full house tee. 2 lead backs going through. You see the quarterback even gets in on the action. Merchant. Man, this is a hit here in the hole. This is just really good football. Good tackling position. He's got a little bit lower to not allow Graves to push forward.
Counter. Not much for Skylar Workman, who scored 4 touchdowns against Reed City in the semifinal game. Dylan Taylor wrapped him up.
We haven't seen, you see Jacob Stewart right there talking to Coach Woer. And we haven't seen as much of Stewart as we thought we would. We saw him have that one nice run early in the game. He popped a pretty long one, but since then has not had a lot of attempts.
Second and long. Off play action. Where each time he has thrown, he's rolled to his opposite hand, which is interesting.
That is. That's an interesting point, Shep, because some quarterbacks don't mind it. It kind of forces you to open your hips to throw. Others like it. But I don't think so. I think it's difficult. If I was a right-handed quarterback going to my left, it seems like it's a lot more effort to get in throwing. Well, you're a quarterback in a throwing position.
A toss sweep. Graves. Ankle tackle, and he's dragged down at about the 38-yard line. Cohen Furquan made a heck of a move and a heck of a tackle.
Watch Cohen Furquan right here. Let's watch. He's going to read, and he's going to flow, and then he's going to finish. Let it go. He reads the pull, gets in there. Now he flattens out and has just enough speed, and just gets Graves as he tries to turn it up. Eli thinks that he's got this. And all of a sudden, Furquan really came out of nowhere.
4th and 5. Seam route. Incomplete. Intended for Max Goethals. And they'll turn it over on downs to Almont.
Yeah, and I think I blame Goethals on this. Gavin Merchant threw a pretty nice ball. Goethals made a cardinal mistake. He's going to just leak down the field. He's going to come down all the way down the seam. Let it go. And you just got to keep going. Quarterback will take you. He kind of turns. He gets tied up. I think he misjudged the ball. He wanted to high point it, but he stopped running vertically too soon. And Gavin Merchant actually threw a pretty good ball, but nonetheless, a turnover on downs, and the Raiders of Almont get the ball.
Boy, a key defensive stop. And now on the ground, slugging his way is Matthew Boholski.
You know, earlier in that last series, I talked about Jacob Stewart not being used. I got my orange and black boards mixed up. Jacob Stewart is for the Raiders. Let's see, because he did have a nice run early on for Almont, but really not called on much, not getting as many reps as we thought we might see from the sophomore.
It's primarily been Chase Batani and Luke Winkler on the ground attack for Almont so far. Average almost 280 yards per game on the ground this year. A toss sweep. Nice move to get to the outside and then wrapped up at the 42-yard line. That's Batani, brought down by John Wynn.
Matthew, 3rd and 5. You're Almont. You're Coach Loosby. You're not getting those chunk run plays. Does this force you into maybe a pass, some type of play action? I still want to see him try to get Davidowski outside the pocket or some type of play action and then boot him and maybe drag a tight end. You know, you're a big dragging tight end guy. Bring a tight end from the weak side, maybe on the strong side as well.
Instead, it's to the up back, and Winkler drilled at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, you got to punt. You know, in today's analytics and stuff, teams are tempted to go for it, but it's 4th and 3. You can reestablish field position. It's a one-possession game. You're not down 3 scores and thinking, man, we just can't give the ball back. Your defense has played better in the second half so far. Punt them deep. You have a really good kicking game, and try to play defense again.
Heck of a statement by Kingsley's defense,
yeah.
You think?
Absolutely.
They got
get stopped, but they come right back and get a stop.
They got gouged, remember, on the 65-yard touchdown run by Chase Batani on the last possession, and then they operate a 3-and-out.
Directional punt this.
Graves watches it hit at the 20 and stay away from it. And that's where Kingsley's offense takes control. A little more defensive-minded here in the 3rd so far, in a tight one in Division 6, and where every kid who plays high school football in the state of Michigan wants to end their season at Ford Field. Oh, our great state has some spectacular views, some beautiful areas. Not many better than the high rollaway, a trail that leads to an observation deck 200 feet above the Manistee River, just south of Kingsley, Michigan. Look at that.
And this whole thing's about 15, 20 miles from the Sleeping Bear Dunes. Don't forget either. My wife and I were blessed enough to go up there this fall, spend a couple, 3 days in the Traverse City, the M22 drive, and we did a little wine tasting and just some sightseeing and dinking and dunking, and what a beautiful part of the state. You know, I'm a Uper, Shep, and I know I'm a little bit biased to the UP, but man, that's a close second up there.
That area once served as transportation points for loggers, and they'd float timber down the river. It truly is God's country, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Kingsley taking over here. I tell this to everybody, a lot of athletes who come to town just for their specific seasons. And I say, I could blindfold you, drop you off in northern Michigan. You'd wake up and you'd say, where am I? And you might select, I don't know,
Maine,
15,
northern
20
Maine,
states and not realize you're in such a beautiful part of the country, and yet it's called Michigan.
Second down and 6.
Second down and 6 for Kingsley Stags. On a toss sweep, Graves wants a block. Didn't get it. Shy of the 30. Good tackle made by Jace Batanti. Batanti has got that big-time run, and now a big-time tackle there on second down.
Yeah, we saw some speed that time. I didn't think it was Furquan, because Furquan's not quite this quick. But Tanny comes out of nowhere, shows that speed, wrapped 2 arms around, cross the front, pulls him down, sets up a 3rd and 1.
Good-looking ball player right there.
Yeah, I just think you're going to see that power I look or full T, one of the two, but it's going to be 2 leading the 3rd one here. 2 backs going to lead through the hole to the 3rd guy getting it.
Under 2.5 to go in the 3rd, and a tight one. That's a first down carry. Shredding tackles to the 42-yard line is Skylar Workman, his best run of the night.
Well, we talked about seeing some, I don't know what you call this, a power lead, a double lead, because it's just going to be a full house tee. Both backs are going to lead the 3rd back coming through, and that's just a nice job by Skylar Workman. Following his backs, kind of covering up the ball with 2 hands. No fumbles on this play. The offensive line. Look at the shootout by Noah Scribner, the center. Great quickness on the snap.
Picked up 14. He runs bigger than 6'1", 165. I can tell you that. He's got it again. Lowered the shoulder, got to the 47. Batanti in on another tackle for Almont.
Once again, they're just doing such a good job. I don't want to belabor a point, but what I'm seeing and the difference in this game is both teams are engaging when they're on the offensive line. The difference is Kingsley is staying on the blocks longer. And any running back will tell you, I blocked for Billy Sims way back in the day, and people thought I could block. I couldn't block a lick, but I could stay up and stay on, and Billy would cut off me and make me look good.
The second down call goes to the second man through. It's Graves. He was already down. Aiden Furquan in on the tackle. 42 and 26 in black have been defensive menaces all night long.
It's not as easy in the second half for Kingsley, is it? This defensive front, the men in black up there are doing a much better job of limiting now. They're still getting 3 and 4, but they're not getting the 8 and 10 and 12 as we saw in the first half.
It does help these defenses. They see them in practice on a daily basis because they each run similar offenses. Workman broke 1 tackle, couldn't break another. Should be enough for a first down.
That's a really good point, Shep. Is I was talking to one, I'm not sure which of the coach said it. He goes, but since we both run the same offense, we can defend it probably better than most teams do because no one sees it as much as we see it because we see it every day. Our scout team's defending it every day, so we see it. We're a little bit better defending it. Look at the military academies that run the option. You see Army, Navy, Air Force, how much better they defend each other than the other 128 D1 programs do.
And how many problems they give teams that just don't see those offenses very often. Off play action. A dump pass. Inside the 40 to the 39. Max Goethals on the receiving end of that pass.
Well, Goethals is going to be the tight end line up to the left. And once again, you can just see a little bit of play action here. He blocks down Goethals, and then he releases late. I love that. A little tight end delay where he blocks the defensive end down. He comes out. He releases late. Almost deflected by Furquan. But Goethals gets it, and the lanky young man gets up the field. And I can't believe this third quarter is almost done.
It's a big target there for Gavin Merchant. 2nd down and 3. Graves past the 35 and enough for a first down as the third quarter expires. Thrilling Division 6 matchup here between Kingsley and Almont. It was 22-10 for a while, and then Almont had a response early in the third. It's tighter than many people expected, but not these two head coaches. A 5-point difference as we head to the fourth on Bally Sports. Stay with us. This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals on Bally Sports Detroit is brought to you by Trinity Health. We see all of you. By Figer Law, all we do is win. And by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, think Ford first. Good win here in Division 6. Actually, it's been a good day so far on day 1 of this 2-day championship tournament. Natalie Kerwin on the sidelines. Rob Rubick, I'm Matt Shepard. What do you expect here in the fourth?
That's a great question. A little bit more of the same, but depends on who gets the next touchdown. If you see Kingsley get it, it's going to have to open the offense up a little bit for Almont. And if Kingsley doesn't score and Almont comes back, then it could just be who can run the ball the best in the last 8 minutes of the game.
Kingsley had their way on the ground in the first half. What did Almont do in the third quarter that was so successful?
Well, I think they did a better job of clogging up inside between the tackles. Sometimes it's just a matter of having your defensive tackles buried so you can't get trapped. When you're pulling and bringing people at you, just create a pile and all your linebackers come in and clean up.
Start the fourth with Kingsley in the football. They want to throw. Merchant finds his man inside the 10. Touchdown. How about that to Chase Bott?
Okay, pause it right here. This is a one-man route. Look at everyone's in here, 10 people. You're running Chase Bott on a little crossing route across the field. Everyone else is staying in and protecting. You better hope the big fella wins, and guess what? Bott did win that time. He got open, created space, touchdown.
6'5", 205, and what a time for his second touchdown catch of the year. Another 2-point conversion, and they're up 13. Skylar Workman works his way into the end zone for 2 more.
We're going to take a look at the touchdown to Bott here in a second. And you do got to like, as you said, the Big Ten is 6'5", 205-pound junior. Really does a nice job, as well as the rest of the offense line, selling the run, showing the play action, creating time, creating space for quarterback Merchant. Let's watch here. He's going to come right here. Everyone else is going to be doing run blocking. The pressure comes late, but Bott already across the field. He has man-to-man coverage, and he's able to beat the defender that time. I think that was Matthew Bahowski. And with a little bit of a stiff arm, he's able to get in the end zone. Man, it's funny. You see these teams that run, and then you see the power on the extra point when they leave the 2 backs ahead. And that Workman was able to get in for the 2-point conversion. But you see these teams that run. As a former tight end receiver, I think, man, that kid looked pretty good running, didn't he? In the pass route, I'm like, I'd be politicking every Monday with my coach. Hey, coach, I know we can run, but you know, I can also run and catch. It's a lot quicker if you throw me the ball 30 yards down the field.
Listen, when your identity is running the football and you throw in that situation, it really surprises defenses.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
And they
a lot
caught
of times
him,
wide open.
Yep. Squibber fielded right at the 20. Big return. Jacob Fuller with another good return for Almont. Down to Natalie Kerwin.
Yeah, Shep, you saw Chase Bott score that touchdown for Kingsley. Well, there's a ton of family ties on both of these teams, actually with the Botts on Kingsley. So Chase and Caleb Bott, they're both starters, as you saw right there, tight end and then right guard. And they're first cousins with Max and Colton Goethals, who are also on Kingsley's team. All 4 of those kids, their uncle Brian, he was on the 05 state championship team for Kingsley. So there's a lot of connections there, a lot of good football genes in both of those families.
It's good stuff. Love these small communities and how they stick together and the experiences that they share with one another. On 1st and 10 Almont needs to respond. And that'll get him into Kingsley territory. Luke Winkler feeling his way to the 49.
Still a lot of time. You don't have to press the panic button if you're Coach Loosby. You know you can still stick to what you do the best. That's running the football. And they pick up 4 on first down. You continue to do that. But if you get a good first down and maybe get short on second, that's when you bring a little play action and try to get someone down the field loose and hit him with the chunk play. They've done a little bit better job, I think, attacking the perimeter here in the second half, too. Not as much between the guards.
Different set for them. Battani.
Picked up a couple. Chase, yep. You know, they kind of showed their hand a little bit because it was an empty backfield. The only really one in the backfield was Chase Battani, who was lined up as kind of a wing on the right. They just ran a little short jet motion. He comes behind. And you see the defense flowing, squeezing inside. I like that. Nice job by Bodie Bayless. That defensive end of just squeezing down and making the play.
Almont 0 for 4 on third down conversions.
I think you're getting close to 4-down territory now. Positive yards, I think they go for it on 4th down.
Inside give, Battani. Just a swarm of white jerseys led by Max Goethals.
Well, they just run the counter here. You're going to see they're coming at you. They're going to just, you see Battani, they're going to fake here. They're going to come back underneath and give it to Battani. Watch, let it go. They fake the jet motion, a little underneath handoff. They pull from the weak side. And what you do as a defender, when you see that backside pulling, if you're cross-reading the guard, you know it's coming at you. And that's the good job staying home, not chasing ghosts. 4th down and 2. I thought they'd go for it here if they were able to pick up a couple. Now, I think I get the ball in 32's hand. He's your best weapon. Maybe they're going for the hard count, getting a jump.
Winkler cuts it up. That's a first down run.
Luke Winkler, I thought they were going to go for the hard cut. The way he was moving around, changing positions, like you're trying to hit the defense. But Luke Winkler, you're going to see him, number 81, he kind of motions back here. I'm going to be back here. I'm going to go motion up. As soon as I get set, but they snap it, they're going to run me to the edge. And Luke says, I got it. He's the fastest guy in the team for Almont. And not very strong and big, but he got through the seam enough. But John Wims, we're going to get a look, gets rolled up on his ankle, and he's still down on the field. And that'd be a big loss for Kingsley because remember him in the first half, and the second half, he comes downhill, and he's made a lot of plays. But a big 4th down conversion. I'm getting back to Almont. You know, this is a drive. There's no more drives that you're going to punt. I think when you're under 10 minutes in high school, it goes pretty quick. As I see Mr. Wims getting up there and doing a little one hop off the field, so it looks like an ankle issue, which is not great when it's your last game of the year. You think, oh, he can be back in a couple weeks. Well, there's no more couple weeks. This is all or nothing here today. So if you're Almont, you're in 4-down territory from here on out.
They're 2 for 2 on 4th downs, 0 for 4 on 3rd downs. That was huge right there for Almont. After this one, it's Division II. It's Muskegon from the west side. No high school football program has more wins than the Big Reds against De La Salle, who has become the blue chip of Metro Detroit, winning back-to-back titles. Winkler off a swing pass for another first down, all the way close to the 20.
Ooh, Luke Winkler, you are quick. They throw, actually it was a handoff. I don't know if they're going to count that as a pass reception because I thought it was a backward pass, but they're going to get Luke to the edge. You see the 2 defenders out there, you just flank them quickly with the pass. Instead of having to hand it off and run all the way out there, you get the ball in space, and he has some quicks.
Picked up 23. He is slippery, isn't he? Now in the slot. 2-back set behind Davidowski. They'll run it. A little jump cut to pick up a few yards there.
3 yards, and that's what you want. Minimum of 3, hopefully 4 or more when you're running this type of full house T offense because you're going to go for it on 4th down, and if you get 3 yards 4 times in a row, that moves the sticks.
A gain of 3 to the 17.
James Loosby needs 7 here.
You're tempted to do some type of play action as a coach. Try to catch them. The problem is if you don't complete it, now you're behind the sticks as far as the running game goes.
Off play action. Wide open. Touchdown Raiders! Cole Walton got behind the defense and Davidowski found him.
Well, Coach rolls the dice here a little bit. You're going to see he comes from the right slot right here. He's going to go all the way across the field. He drags all the way across the field. And does a nice job getting open, and more importantly, Davidowski is able to stay in the pocket long enough to let this come clean and throw it back.
Extra point is pure, and that's an impressive drive from Almont. We've seen both these teams do a nice job of bouncing back from some adversity and struggles.
Little ball fake, stays in, sees it coming in his face. Oh man, that's the way to stay home. Skylar Workman's coming to deliver the blow. He stands tall as someone about 5'10" can, but Davidowski stands there, does a nice job delivering to a wide open receiver that time, and Cole Walton does the rest.
Back to a 1-possession game, and a must-have answer by Almont. They do, with their quarterback Chase Davidowski, the senior, to fellow senior split end Cole Walton. 4th touchdown catch of the year for that school's best basketball player right there, Cole Walton.
Cole get a little FaceTime. Well deserved, but how about I think, you look at Chase Davidowski makes the play, as you said, Chip, bearing down. Workman is coming to deliver the blow, running free, unblocked. He stands there long enough to allow Walton to come clean on that deep crossing route. And this Almont team, no quit now. It's a 1-possession game. It's still 7:55. Neither team has to abandon what they do, what their DNA is, and that's running the football with this power I, full house T, whatever you want to call it, that Kingsley does. But it's still, if you're Almont, you can say, fellas, we got to get a stop. We got to get off the field somehow. We can't let them Pac-Man this ball, go down the field, and get any points. Because they get a field goal, even on this drive, that's going to be make it a 2-possession game, and it will be over.
So after Merchant throws his first touchdown toss of the night, capping off a 9-play, 80-yard drive, Davidowski follows with his first touchdown pass of the night, 7 plays, 54 yards. This has been a good one.
Much better kicking game for Almont than for Kingsley. Kingsley's coach, Coach Wurz said, yeah, we kick it as far as we can, about 20 yards. They kick it in the end zone.
O'Neal a good foot into it. From the 5, this is Eli Graves. To about the 27.
Pushed out of bounds by Fuller.
Well, Coach Loosby's preaching right now. You got to make a stop, and Coach Wurz preaching right now. Ball security. If he's telling his kids, listen, we're good enough up front. We can probably take 5-6 minutes off this clock in a drive, but we have to have ball security.
On the ground to the 35. What's interesting is James Loosby, they used to take their teams to Kingsley when he was on the JV staff, and they would stay there and do some camps. Coach Jeremy Furman, Tim Wurr were college roommates. There's some different things, yet similar things between these two programs. There's a connection in more than just playing for a state title here today. Workman gains a few more yards. it was enough to move the chains. Another first down run for Kingsley.
First down, Kingsley.
I know they're going to get.
Toss sweep on a 1st and 10 to Graves. Feeling his way to the 44-yard line. And now Almont has to look at the clock as much as anything else. Under 6.5 remaining.
A gain of 6 to the 45. It's 2nd down and 4.
Good first down plays for Kingsley in this drive already. Easy to stay ahead of the sticks when you're getting 6-7 yards on first down. This type of rushing attack. Now you can see some lead. 2 backs leading through, the 3rd back getting the ball.
First man through, and that's the fullback, Colson Orton. Chase Batani made the tackle, but not before they get another first down. Keep up with everything MHSAA on social media. Look them up on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, and YouTube for football finals updates, even event announcements as well, video highlights, and high school athletics news from around the state. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every single day.
The Raiders of Almont and Black here, they got to win a first down play, get them behind the sticks a little bit. And there it is.
There you go, buddy, right on your cue. It was Aiden Furquan, who must have been listening into the broadcast, who said, I'll make that play for you, Rob Rubick, and he did.
Well, you're going to see right here, you're going to see him fill on the opposite side. Let it go. You're going to a little bit of a counter coming back. He steps. Wow. Wow, what form tackling, because that's, like we talk about Eli Graves, that's a strong, wiry kid, but lowest man wins, and that time Aiden Furquan was able to get underneath the pads of Graves and stop him for no gain, and that's what you're looking to do. Get them behind the chains, Shep.
Team leader in tackles during the year. He leads him today with over 15. 2nd and long. They're going to throw it, and it's incomplete. Jacob Fuller did a nice job of staying home.
Yeah, you said Jacob Fuller really breaks this play down, because it looks like there was a couple of the Kingsley Stags were coming open. Let's come to the right, let it go. And he rolls out, and he has one. The receiver at that time, that was Colson Orton, wasn't ready for the ball, but the quarterback, Merchant, was forced to get rid of it because of Fuller staying home and bringing pressure.
3rd and long for Kingsley.
Now be careful, you commit too hard to the pass, they can slip a little inside trap or something on you too. They're not afraid to run it on 3rd and long. Ooh, they went hard count, huh? As the play clock winds down. I don't know if Coach Wu get a timeout before the clock ran out.
Timeout before delay of game. Kingsley.
3rd down and 10 against Tim Ward and his Kingsley Stags. They own the first half. It's been a battle in the second half and a battle all night long, and it's been a good one so far. Here's what's at stake for Kingsley. It would be their 2nd school championship, but the first time from the North Michigan Football Conference. And for Almont, they're in search of making school history, not only for their school, but also for the Blue Water Area Conference.
You know, if anyone want to know where Almont is, I'm sure a lot of people listen, go up to get the apples in Romeo, all the apple orchards by Romeo. Just keep going about another 10 miles north. Right on 53, you'll hit Almont.
Some good golf courses out there.
Beautiful golf course. Yeah. And hot air balloon rides. Oh, you got to love them.
3rd down and 10. We'll see if Almont can take the air out of Kingsley's offense. Deep drop. Downfield. And it is caught! Hauled in at the 35 by Max Goethals. He'll never make a bigger catch than that.
How about the throw? as Gavin Merchant's down. Look at, he stands in the pocket once again.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, that's sometimes you get out genetic, and Fuller was there in position, but you can see Gotho's going up. Max Gotho's 6'2". That's a great catch for a first down, and then you're going to see the late hit coming in. And it's just not the hit, it's the finishing of the block that time by number 88. That's Brent Corno. But you talk about Fuller was in coverage, right? Fuller's 5'8", 155. 5'8", Gotho's 6'2". The best coverage in the world, you can lose to genetics. And that time he just got 6'2" to death. I'm not sure, I don't read lips that well, but I don't think he was happy.
No,
they called the penalty.
They
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Maybe coach didn't see it.
Again, Gavin Merchant, one of the best wrestlers the state of Michigan has to offer. It's going to take more than that to get him out of the game. They're going to take their time and tick it down. Under 4 minutes left. Back to the ground game. Workman fumbled it.
Now they blew the whistle. It's reviewable unless the whistle was blown.
The runner was down before the fumble.
And I think I heard the whistle before the ball came out. And I think the ground caused the fumble anyways.
They stay on the ground to the 10-yard line.
Well, Coach Lusby's trying to challenge it. I think he wants to challenge it, but I don't think you can challenge it because the play was blown dead.
Has to call a timeout.
Right, to challenge.
Right.
And it's a big call. Let's not fool ourselves. There's Coach Lusby trying to get a timeout. Yeah, I think they're explaining to him that maybe it's non-reviewable because the play was already blown dead. Let's get another look. Let's see if it was even a fumble, if his body hits the ground, if the elbow hits the ground. You see him coming through. Workman. Mantini's in the way. Boy, it's hard to tell. I'm just surprised that the whistle was that quick. But let's see here. Oh, this is a great. Oh, no.
It really looks like the fumble is caused by Caleb Bott's foot.
Well, he's been in front of every play all evening.
Yeah, it's not the lineman's fault, but watch. This is where it pops out. Nobody punches it loose. He falls on his right foot, and then it pops loose.
You know, his right elbow was close to being down. I don't know if this is. I don't think it's reviewable personally, but it looks like they are reviewing it, so it must be. I'm not sure you can reverse it though, Shep, because the three or four angles that we have, there's always a body right in front, right when you're going to see if his elbow hits with the ball in it.
Lucas Mantini came out of the pile with the ball.
Scoring plays or potential scoring plays, turnovers or potential turnovers.
So that's definitely reviewable, and this is what's challengeable. Completed passes, boundary calls, down by contact, first touch of a kickball, forward or backward pass, a ball spot for a first down. Another look at it for you.
Let's take another look.
There, off the heel of his offensive
Well, his
lineman.
left arm with the ball is the ground does not cause that fumble. His left arm with the ball's coming up before his left arm hits, but you can't really see his right elbow to see if that is down. See, there's down. It's really close. I don't think you can reverse it on what I'm seeing, but then again, I didn't think this was. I'm not good at this.
Well,
the replay.
We'll reiterate. Kingsley has only lost one fumble all year.
No way. Seriously?
1. Yep.
For as many times as they run the ball, that's impressive. What's your call, Shep? What are you thinking?
I think it's really hard to overturn.
That's what I'm saying, too. My mind tells me I think he fumbled it before his elbows were down, but I can't see the other elbow.
I think it's a fumble, but I do believe it's difficult to overturn because of what was ruled on the field of play. So
well,
let's see.
Guarantee half this stadium's going to be angry.
The longer it goes, though,
the
more concerning it is for Kingsley.
And this is when you definitely can't blame the official. What a hard call to see inside that what happened.
Yeah. It's officiating crew from the west side of the state, led by Max Warner from St. Joseph. Here's his call.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. The runner was down by contact. Second down.
Well, that's what we thought. And like I said, my mind tells me I think he probably fumbled it. But with what you see on the replays, you can't overturn the call. So I think it's the correct call by the officials.
Ball rests at the 15-yard line, and it's a 2nd down and 7 for Kingsley, who leads by 6.
Now you got to gather right now. You got to defensively, you got to shake that off and make a play.
Graves wiggled his way through a hole and got a first down.
Eli Graves. This was designed to go to the right. Watch both backs lead him to the right, but he kind of bounces it back to the weak side. Right there, he sees a crease and cuts back against the flow and gets a nice gain.
Needed 7, picked up 9. It's 1st and goal from the 6.
And that clock is just ticking away. 2:30 and rolling here. The thing is, Kingsley does not have a kicking game.
Graves, 2nd effort. Touchdown, Eli Graves. His 4th of the night.
I just feel this is a defensive front of Almont that's just put up a very admirable fight, but they're just wearing down. This offensive line is just winning up front. Look at the wedge, look at the crease, and look at the bodies. The white shirts still on the black shirts blocking. And I know I keep going back to this point, but offensive line coach's dream. Kids that can stay up and stay on.
Always going for 2. Always looking for a touchdown. They always review scores or potential scores, and it's confirmed the touchdown is good. A couple of 2-point conversions for Kingsley already here tonight. They're looking for another. Took too long. A timeout.
Timeout, Kingsley.
The 2-point conversion after the break. 2:19 remaining. Eli Graves is going to sleep well tonight. He's rushed the ball 30 times, gained almost 200 yards, and scored 4 times to get his team close. Time now for our player of the game, brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. You average over 6.5 yards per carry. You're going to be in the running, Rubes.
Yeah, he's done it all ways on the ground. Some nice holes inside of that offensive line, but also some slashing, some reading. and then some speed. And this one here is just, I think I could go up there maybe score on this one with 2 titanium knees. But Eli Graves has just really been everything that Coach Wooler said he was and a little bit more. He's better than I thought. If you see the quickness through the hole right there, great numbers. He'll remember for a long, long time.
I think everybody in Kingsley will. This team
has. We see Eli's Grave Street sometime. Who knows?
It's possible.
Yeah, it's a small town.
Will they retire his number 2? This team has rushed for 319 yards on 55 runs tonight. The 2-point conversion is icing on the cake. Graves again. 38-24. Kingsley's lead is now at 14. Down to Natalie Kerwin.
Yeah, Shep. Well, Kingsley looks like they're on their way to their 2nd state championship in school history. They got a great coaching staff behind them, and I want to highlight one guy in particular. It's Connor Schuler. He helps coach the running backs and the DBs. He's only 19 years old. He's a young assistant coach, but what makes him so connected to this group, he was teammates with a lot of these guys just a couple of years ago. During his final year on the team in 2021, he unfortunately lost his mother. She passed away from COVID-19. She was a staple of this Kingsley program. Just the complete football mom. The entire team and community really embraced Connor at that time when he needed it most. He ended up graduating, staying close to home, continuing to stay in the area. In football, it's this guy's life, and it's Connor's birthday today too, so I know he wants this win for his team, and of course, in honor of his mom as well.
Happy birthday, Connor. What a great story that is. Keeping it in the family is what Kingsley's all about, and his running backs have been fantastic. As we mentioned, 319 yards of rushing offense on 55 carries so far tonight, and we've got 219 left in this one.
And they were able to throw the ball when they wanted to, and I think that's key because they dictated when they threw the ball. They weren't forcing a 3rd down and longs where Almont knew they were going to throw the ball. So that, I think Gavin Merchant did a nice job.
Fielded at the 21 by Winkler. And dragged down at the 31-yard line. Ball came out. Was he down? Nope, it's Kingsley ball. Isaiah Cosgrove came out of the pile with it.
Well, I didn't really see Luke Winkler get hit. Somebody get an arm in here.
That's Colson Orton, who stripped it free. And before Cosgrove jumped all over it.
Some hungry Stags, and that ball comes free there. Yeah, it's free before either knee is down. Great call by the officials. Right on top. They're going to review it quickly. And I think you're going to get the thumbs up, telling them let's move on, which pretty much puts a bow on this game. And for Kingsley, the Stags are going to come away with their 2nd state championship.
Both these teams lost to Ogama Heights. And for Tim Woer and Kingsley, he felt his team really grew up as much in the losses as the victories this season.
Yeah. Is all touchdowns, potential touchdowns, turnovers. They can review it to make sure to give it the okay. And we're getting another look here as Luke Winkler is going down.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Kingsley.
And Colson Orton does a nice job of getting the hand on the tip of the ball, just peeling it out. Now it's just going to be hand the ball off, hand the ball off, hand the ball off. Almont still has 2 timeouts remaining.
I don't think Tim Woer's yelling at his guys. He just has to talk loud because of how loud it is near his sideline. Gavin Merchant back under center for Kingsley, who leads it by 14 as we approach the 2-minute mark. And a give to Graves. Player of the night is wrestled down shy of the 30. We were talking to Tim Woer and the fact that his team lost to Ogama Heights. He told us that they were just out physicaled in a game like that. And he said, after that Saturday game, we met Sunday night with the kids, and we had a serious talk. We needed to change how we were playing. And if not, we're going to be an early exit. And they changed. They all bought in. And it's going to pay off big time for them.
Now you see right now Gavin Merchant just managing the game, the play clock.
Third man through. Down to the 26 is Graves again. 32 carries for Eli Graves.
Stopped by Winkler at the 26-yard line.
Over 200 yards now for Eli Graves. Give him 204 to be exact.
Third down and 3.
That'll do it right there. A first down carry to the 20-yard line. One more snap, and Kingsley can officially celebrate. The Kingsley Stags have reached the mountaintop. They are champions for the second time in school history. They beat Almont by 14 in 2023. The two best teams in Division 6 in the state of Michigan did not disappoint. This was a good one that goes Kingsley's way, and they win it 38-24. We'll talk with Eli Graves when we come back to Ford Field right after this on Bally Sports. Kingsley are champions of 2023 in Division 6. Time for Menard's big money moment. Interesting, Rube. They were so good on the ground, but it was a pass that really set them apart.
Right, and it's Chase Bott. I mean, Almont was making a run. They scored to make it a one-possession game, and this is just a dagger. When they come back out, Kingsley hits Chase Bott with a pass from Gavin Merchant, and that really was the final nail in the coffin.
35-yard touchdown pitch and catch helped him. Eli Graves was the story of the night. 33 carries, 210 yards, and 4 scores. He's with Natalie Kerwin. Natalie?
Eli, you just helped your team to their second state championship in school history. Take me through your emotions.
I don't even know what to say. This is my team's been dreaming for since we were in 3rd grade playing Pop Warner together. This is the best day of our life. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Well, I'll speak for you. 4 touchdowns, over 200 yards. What was fueling you out there today?
I didn't want to lose. I mean, all my seniors out there, this is their last game ever. I don't want their last game ever to be a loss. I wanted us to win, so I did everything I could. They did everything they could, and I'm just happy we got the win.
We got to talk about your boys up front. How effective were they in letting you do what you do?
I mean, they're the best O-line in D6, obviously. We can't do anything without our O-linemen, so I got nothing but praise for them. I mean, I should go buy them dinner, but I'm broke, so.
You might have to buy some dinner after this one.
So.
Last one for you, Eli. Coach Ward told me he always asks you guys, how do you want to be remembered? How will you be remembered tonight, Eli?
Just playing my hardest, max effort every game, every play. I just want everyone to know in Kingsley that we may be a small town, small community, but we can compete with these bigger schools. It's just hard work, dedication, and effort.
Congratulations, Eli. Go celebrate with your team. Appreciate it. Shep, take it away.
Natalie, I don't know who's going to get him, Grand Valley, Saginaw Valley, but whoever does is going to get a hell of a football player.
Yeah, he's a baller. There's no question. Both sides of the ball. He shows patience in the running game. He shows hands in the passing game, and he can block and he can tackle. He's what you call a football player, Shep.
Yep, he was fun to watch. This Division VI state championship was a lot of fun as well. It's Kingsley who reigns supreme, 38-24. Coming up next, the final game of the day. It's the Division II state title final game featuring Muskegon and Warren de La Salle. You're not going to want to miss any of that. Natalie Kerwin, Rob Rubick, and I will be back in less than 30 minutes. Again, congratulations to the D6 champs Kingsley. Thanks for joining us here tonight so far.